Stick around the muscle car and hot rod scene long enough, and you'll see trends come and go. Some, like the pastel hot rods from the 1980s, don't really do it for me. However, throw me into a well-done pro daily or pro touring car, and my excitement heats up. What if, however, you've already built your car, and now, years after the deed is done, you're not digging it quite as much as you were when you first built it? What then? Well, your choices are simple. You can sell it and take on a new project, or, if you're like Willie Titano, you strip it down, start over, and reignite the fire that made you fall in love with it in the first place.
So I consider this car the one that I thought got away, but then miraculously came back to us. I was at a car show, and I saw this car. Owner was not around. I then went and walked around looking for things. Came back, the owner was still not around. Walked around again. I came back, and the car was gone. Okay, very, very cool. 1961 Cadillac DeVille in all its race-inspired Cadillac CTS-V race car glory. This is a car that you look at and you're immediately intrigued. Because the first thing you think of is, who in God's name makes a race car out of a 61 DeVille?
Personally, I've owned probably about 300 personal cars of my own, and I would say at least 120 Cadillacs. I try to own all the different models, but some of them are just ridiculous, like the Brits and all, the Brits 4-door 58 and all that. You know, they're beyond my price range. Out of all the cars, I have always wanted 61, and one day I just finished a 53 Bel Air, and that was cool. But I got bored with it within 6 months and sold it. And I said, okay, so the next car I wanted to get a Cadillac. So I started looking at Auto Trader, which used to be a little magazine, and I seen one little picture about that big in Vegas. Called the guy up and I said, you still have it? He said, yeah. I said, well, I want it. As long as you say what it is, I'll fly down there and take a look and I'll buy it. I don't care if it runs or not, as long as everything's there. And that's what decided. So I'm gonna get what I always wanted for the years on end. So I flew down to Vegas and there it was, underneath a car cover.
It's gone through so many stages, and it's been with Willie for so long that he doesn't care about changing it. He doesn't care about anybody's opinion. He doesn't care about their philosophy on what a car is. It's his car. And what's also cool is he drives this car every day. And by every day, I mean daily driver. If there's a snowstorm, he is driving the car. If there is a windstorm, he is in this. It is his car, his daily driver. It drives great. This car is very much a part of who Willie is. He drives this car because he wants people to know it's his. He drives this car because he likes the way it makes him feel. He drives this car because, look at it, why wouldn't you? It's great.
I don't, 61 is just, it's got the skags on the bottom. I mean, it looks like it's going a million miles an hour just standing still. Looks sleek and sexy too at the same time. When I seen this one, I just had to have it. And when I seen it, it was actually pink and white, and I didn't care what color it was. You know, this is the one. Paid $1,700 for it.
Let's go over the appearance of this thing. It is an in-your-face, get out of my way, I don't care who you are or what you do, automobile. It makes this statement. It makes one hell of a statement. Pull into a car show, everybody flocks to it. Pull into a gas station, everybody flocks to it. Go to a light and everybody flocks to it. It's been a while since, you know, we filmed so many different cool looking cars, and people when they drive by will, you know, they'll do the neck snap and they'll look and they'll maybe slow down. People are actually stopping and turning around and coming back to talk to us with this car. It makes that much of a statement, has that much of a presence. So, you know, he deals with that everywhere he goes.
Some people, like, they look at it and they smile and then they go, you know, why? Or they call it Batman, you know, Batmobile. And it's all black. The reaction to everybody likes it, you know, because it's different. A lot of time they don't even know what it is. And I said, well, Cadillac, you know, so it makes me feel good because that makes me feel like I'm making people smile, you know, and make people realize that, you know, you don't have to be like somebody else, like that 5 silver BMWs going down the road, or it just makes you realize that you can have fun and drive.
If Satan married a girl, this could be her driver. And I'm saying a girl because Willie calls this car Mary Jane. So I don't want to say Satan would drive it, although he'd probably steal it from his wife. But as a car named Mary Jane, it's pretty evil.
So I put a stereo in, and the first CD I put in was Rick James. Stuck it in there, and the first song came out was Mary Jane. And there it is. I name every car I've owned, I've had names for them. And Mary Jane, and that's Mary Jane right there. And that's how I got her, and everybody knows about it. I mean, I talk her as my girl.
So think of it as your girlfriend. Sometimes things might get stale, they might get a little boring. Now Mary Jane, because you know why? Willie constantly changes Mary Jane up. Makes her look a little bit different, gives her a little bit more personality, and does things to Mary Jane that keeps us spicy. And that's a good thing when it comes to a car like this. He's had the car for 15 years. He picked it up in Reno and drove it back. Well, partially drove it back. And throughout that time, it's been through 5 different variations. Now, through those variations have been lowrider-esque. It's been painted blue with candy. Different engines, different wheels, different interior, basically different everything. And as he puts it, you know what? I like change.
I get bored, and that's why I go through a lot of cars. But I always liked the Cadillac, and I said, well, I got to do something to keep interest in it because I'll probably sell it and probably regret it. And the last time I didn't want to do it, but somebody hit it, and that gave me a chance to do something about it. And the first look was, of course, was pink and white interior. And I was actually going to keep it like that and put Willie K in the back, but I said, nah, it didn't sound too good. That's when the suede paint jobs were starting to kick in. And I said, well, I always want to do something like that, so I ended up painting the car all suede black, left the white top, and dyed the interior black and white. And I lowered it. All did this behind my house on a 1-inch plywood. And then just recently, about 3-4 months ago, a hit and run on that side. And you can't match the metal flake paint, so they gave me a reason to change it. And that's how you look at it right now. I was watching that GT car race on the station there, and the CTS-V Cadillacs, blowing away all the Beamers and Benzes and all that. And it was black with wings and scoops and with a Cadillac. I said, okay, I'll do a 60 version. And there it is, right there.
Now, he didn't totally race it out as far as, you know, power goes, but it's, you know, it's capable. The steering is actually the best Cadillac steering I've ever felt in an older car. As for the interior, okay. Red imitation alligator skin everywhere. The seats, the headliner, the door panels, the center console, the rear package. There is more red dead reptile in this car than anything I've ever seen. But it kind of works in this car. I mean, if this had a stock interior, you would just look at it and be like, oh, that's not right. Why, I mean, you know, he did the exterior, but why not the interior? You know, most people look at Cadillacs as just big, kind of lumpy cruisers. And old Cadillacs, I mean, let's face it, that's what they are. You know, they're great highway cars, massive torque, drive all day, and, you know, give you a great ride. This car is really not that much difference. I mean, although looks-wise, it looks like it'll blow by you at 200 miles an hour. But in reality, it's kind of mild. So the engine is a 472 big block. Decent amount of power, over 500 pound-feet of torque, probably around 375, 400 horsepower. The tranny is a turbo 400 3-speed, and the rear end is stock Caddy with 294 gears, right? Lump along all day, 3,000 RPMs, 80 miles an hour, you're happy as a clam. Great stuff. I mean, it's actually not bad for a 5,000 pound car. Got plenty of grunt, you know? More than enough grunt. That's the beauty of torque. Torque is king.
It's the same motor for the past since I did it, about almost 15 years ago. I just recently rebuilt it. It's a board 30 over now. A friend of mine that builds motors for me, builds racing motors, and he's hooked up with comp cams. So we went through 3 different cams with it, and we finally found one that's, it's drivable and sounds good. And I didn't care about performance because it's got good performance, but I wanted a little crazy sound. We got good sound in it. People see me on the freeway and they try to catch up and say hi to Willie, and they never can catch Willie because Willie's doing about 100. I'm not quite done with it right now. So, I got some ideas what else I want to do with it, and I might do that. It might be maybe another year, maybe less than that, maybe more. It depends. There's some things I want to do just make it, it looks ridiculous now. I just want to make it even more, like, yeah, he's lost it.
I love this hobby. It's my passion, how I earn my living, and more importantly, it puts me in front of people who sometimes make me question how I view it. This old Cadillac has gone from a beautiful stock cruiser to a full-on custom to something that looks like it's out of a Mad Max film. And thinking about it, that's okay. Willie's outlook on this car is simple. Change, improve, experiment, and enjoy. That train of thought not only keeps things exciting, but it never lets the passion get stale. And if for some reason the flame doesn't burn that bright on this car in the near future, I have a feeling that satin paint will go away and that something else, new and wonderful, will grace the sheet metal of an otherwise fantastic old Cadillac.